Okay, so this morning, one of the Monkeypod OG members, shout out to Shone, had a question about a specific tool or an app or something, and another Monkeypod member, shout out to Mark Penny, said, hey, you should talk to Mandy from Streamline for Success Australia. And I guess a third shout out to Mandy Brasser. Mandy's not in the membership group, so I went to her website to find her Contact Us page just to give it to Shone to help make that connection a little bit easier. And when I got to Mandy's Contact Us page, here is what I saw. So I was pretty impressed that she had a video right on that Contact Us page that introduced herself, it welcomed people, and it encouraged them to, hey, fill out the form below this video. Really simple, really straightforward. But part of the reason that stuck out to me was because I have a similar video on my own website. So I have a Contact Us page and it just says, I love solving problems. How can I help? Here's the video. And then there's an ask something, a button where people can fill in whatever their question is. And I will reply. If you have been to this page on my website in the past, it didn't always look this way. For a long time, it just had this green bar and it had a button here to contact, and then I added this section to make it a little bit more inviting and to make the call to action a little clearer, right? I've been kind of spending some time this year going back to things that I have already built with the hopes of improving them, making them better. That's just been a deliberate point of focus for me is instead of just continually trying to move the needle and do more stuff, how can I go back to the things that are already live, already working, and make them better? And one way was by rebuilding this page and improving the campaign that web form triggered. So it got me thinking. I have a video on my Contact Us page, and Mandy has one on hers, but I really hadn't seen a whole lot of people using video on their Contact Us page to specifically ask for them to fill out that form. So I started looking at a few other people I know in our space or in the Infusionsoft space that offer consulting or services, and I wanted to see how many of them are using a video like Mandy is and like I have been recently. And here is Mark Penny, who I mentioned previously. He's got a nice form with some segmentation. It's easy enough to fill out, but yeah, no video there. I had to kind of search to find this form on Brett's website. This is Brett Farr from Blick Digital. No video. It's really simple. This was, like I said, to give Brett a little slack, this was a little harder to find. It's not linked to directly from his homepage. Here is the form from Bandera Marketing. That's my friend Justin Roberts. And then here's the form for RLM training. This is Sherrod Martin, another friend of mine from Infusionsoft, and he's got actually an Infusionsoft form embedded right on this page. This is Mallory Balness from Plum Crazy Automation. She's terrific. Her form, as you can see, is also pretty bare. She's using FormLift to maybe make it a little prettier. And then here is Greg Hickman over at Systemly, right, or system.ly, and he's got a form as well, but some segmentation options there, but no video. Box Out Marketing has their form, no real segmentation and no video here either. Hired Gun Solutions, this is my friend Kelsey Bratcher. He's got a form with a spot for text, but no segmentation that I can see, and of course no video here either. And then finally, Longship Solutions, this is my friend Clint Hossman. And he's got an Infusionsoft form as well. And he's got a little bit more information that he's requesting from people up front because this is scheduling a mapping call. This isn't just a Contact Us page. So the short answer is not many people are using video on their Contact Us form, or at least not in my sampling here of 10 or 8 different websites, all in a similar space, mind you. But the reason that this is so valuable is because I feel like as marketers, we spend a lot of time trying to get contacts to do what we want them to do. And in my opinion, the Contact Us form is just neglected, right? Usually that's where contacts go on their own. They seek it out because they have a question that they want to ask. And so I started thinking, why wouldn't we just make it easier for them to do the things that they want to do? Rather than trying to get them to do what we want, why not just embrace what they want to do anyway and make it a little bit easier? And so that's where the idea of this video came from, is just really saying, hey, you're in the right place, fill out the form below, and I'll get you taken care of. It's assuaging any doubt they have. It's giving them that last nudge to actually take action and fill out the form on that page. So I like I said, I made this change to my website a few months ago, February 8th to be exact. And so I was wondering, how has the change affected the performance of this page? Am I getting more people filling out that form, either total or on a month-by-month basis than I was previously? And today is April 9th. So it's only been 2 months since I have made this change. So what I did first was I actually pulled a report of everyone who submitted my Contact Us form in the year of 2017. So that's January 1st, 2017, all the way through the end of December 2017. And I had 27 people submit that form, 23 unique submissions, and then 4 people submitted it twice. And of the 23 people, 12 were brand new contacts. So 50% of the people who submitted it were brand new. Obviously, the people repeat submitting it couldn't be new the second time. So what I'm seeing here is about 2 people per month. So about 2 people per month and about 1 new contact per month captured. Okay, so again, I don't know if this is good or bad. It's just what it is. And so I was wondering, in the last 2 months since I've made this change, are my numbers better or are they worse? And so I pulled that report as well. And this is just for April 8th. Sorry, that's February 8th through April 9th. And I have had 15 submissions in the last 2 months. So rather than, 2 people per month or a little bit over 2 people per month, this is closer to 7 per month. And for new contacts created, that's 6 people. So instead of 1 per month, it's generating 3 new contacts per month, which is obviously triple the output. Now, my website doesn't have a whole lot of traffic, so I get that these numbers aren't staggering. But to me, that's a meaningful increase in engagement. It's a meaningful change, and it didn't take long for me to do that, right? I just had to record a video. I think it's 30 seconds long, just asking people to do the thing that was on that page, saying, hey, I'm a real person. I love solving problems. I'm happy to help you. Fill out this form below. And here's, here's the results. Here's the change, right? I went from a little bit over 2 contacts or 2 submissions a month and 1 contact per month to 7 submissions a month and 3 new contacts per month. And you can see here's the video data for that 30-second video. 17 people have played it, and at least one of those is me right here, right? So that's maybe 16 views, which translated to 15 submissions. So almost everybody who watches that video is submitting it. And you can see that people are sticking around, right? A lot of people are watching longer portions of that video. And then down here, you can see they are completing the video or watching more of it, almost the whole thing in many of these cases. So guys, I want to be abundantly clear that this is a pretty small change. This didn't take a lot of time or effort, but it did require some discipline because my Contact Us form, my Contact Us page, it wasn't broken. You saw I was getting 2 submissions a month and a new contact every now and then. But with a few small tweaks, those numbers have doubled and in some cases tripled. And hopefully this inspires some sort of change for you and for your business as well, or at least, carves out some space to go back and reevaluate things that you haven't touched in a while. They may be working, but they may also have opportunity for improvement. Now, I want to be super clear that I learned a lot in this little micro experiment, but it is a statistically insignificant sampling. There wasn't a whole lot of data here, so I just want you to take that for what it is. The examples I shared earlier are all people who are great at what they do, and the reason I shared them is because I have a lot of respect for them. So just because I'm doing it this way and I've learned a small lesson for my business doesn't mean that they're doing it wrong. I just wanted to share examples of people for whom I have a lot of respect that may have opportunities within their business to improve as well. And if that gives you a perspective to revisit or a lens to revisit different elements or areas of your website or your business, then hopefully it creates some positive change for you. I hope this was useful. And if it was, feel free to share it with whoever you think will benefit. Thanks.